What if I told you there's one thing more valuable than money, more fleeting than fame, and more powerful than any possession you'll ever own? And yet most people waste it every single day. Let me share something that took me decades to truly understand, a truth so simple, yet so profound, that once it hits you, it changes everything. That truth is this: time is the only thing you can never get back. Lose money, you can earn it again. Misplace possessions, you can replace them. But time, once it's gone forever. No refund, no rewind, no second shot. The way you choose to spend your time will shape the entire course of your life. When you're young, time feels endless. You live with this quiet assumption that there will always be tomorrow. Another day, another chance. You think, I'll call them later, or I'll start next week. But then one day you wake up and a decade has vanished like smoke in the wind. That thing you meant to start, the words you meant to say, the people you meant to show up for, they're now just memories. And not all of them are good ones. I've had the privilege and the heartbreak of sitting beside many elderly people as they look back on their lives. And let me tell you, their biggest regrets aren't about missed job offers or the houses they never bought. What haunts them most is time wasted, time spent worrying about things that never happened, time spent chasing things that didn't matter, time spent being too stubborn to say I love you, or too distracted to enjoy the laughter of their child, the softness of a sunset, or the gentle strength of their spouse's hand in theirs. They regret the years lost to stress, the opportunities lost to pride, the love lost to fear, and perhaps most of all, they regret believing they had more time than they actually did. You see, time is like a bank account that resets every single morning. Every day you're given 24 hours. But unlike money, you can't save it for a rainy day. You can't roll it over into next week. What you don't use, you lose. Permanently. And yet we treat time like it's infinite. Like we have a bottomless jar of hours sitting on a shelf, waiting for us to finally start living when the right time comes along. But here's the truth. Most people don't realize until it's almost too late. We don't have an unlimited supply of tomorrows. Think about how we spend our days. How many hours are lost to mindless scrolling, to pointless arguments, to worrying about what others think. We chase approval from people who don't even know us, let alone care about us. We push off happiness like it's some kind of retirement plan, promising ourselves that we'll finally start enjoying life when we have enough money, the right job, the dream house. But tomorrow isn't promised, and one day is the biggest lie we tell ourselves. There's a story I'll never forget of an old man on his deathbed. When asked if he had any regrets, he didn't talk about investments or achievements. He didn't mention status titles or missed promotions. You know what he said? I wish I'd spent more time watching sunsets. I wish I'd held my wife's hand more. I wish I'd laughed louder, loved deeper, and worried less. That was it. He didn't regret losing out on fortune. He regretted missing out on moments on the life that was happening right in front of him while he was too busy chasing something else. So, what can we do? We start now. We begin treating time as the priceless gift that it is. We stop wasting it on things that drain us, distract us, or deceive us into thinking we have forever. We stop waiting for the perfect moment and realize that this moment right now is all we truly have. Because living doesn't start one day, it starts today. In the last part, we uncovered the lie of one day, the illusion that happiness will arrive once everything is perfect. But let's be honest, perfection is a myth. It's a moving target that always stays just out of reach. And while you wait for the perfect job, the perfect moment, or the perfect version of yourself, life is quietly passing you by. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you really lived in the present? I'm not talking about just existing. I mean fully living without worrying about tomorrow's deadline or yesterday's mistakes. When was the last time you put your phone down and looked someone in the eyes while they spoke? The last time you laughed, really laughed, without thinking about your to-do list or unread emails? When was the last time you stood in the rain just to feel it, or notice the smell of fresh air after a storm, or let the sunlight warm your face and actually pause long enough to enjoy it? I've met people who spent their whole lives chasing status, climbing ladders, and building empires. But in the quiet moments at the end of it all, they realized something heartbreaking. They had lived every day preparing for someday, but never really lived a single day in the now. Their plans to slow down and enjoy life never came to pass. That someday turned into never. And now they'd trade everything, their titles, their trophies, their bank accounts, for just a little more time, a few more mornings, a few more chances to say, I love you, to hug someone longer, to take a walk, without a purpose, other than to just be. But here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to wait until you're old to learn this lesson. You can choose differently right now. You can start treating your time as the treasure that it truly is. Stop wasting it on things that don't nourish your soul. Start investing it in what truly matters: your faith, your health, your relationships, your purpose. Because in the end, life isn't about how many years you live. It's about how much life you pour into those years. And speaking of life, let me tell you something. Few people realize, until it's too late, your body is the only home you're guaranteed. You can upgrade your house, switch cars, buy fancier clothes, but there's no trade-in for your body. The way you treat it now will shape every part of how you live tomorrow. When you're young, you feel unstoppable. You skip sleep, eat junk, push your body like it's made of steel. You say, I'll worry about my health later. But friend, later comes faster than you think. One day you wake up and the aches start. Your energy is gone before noon. The activities that used to come easy now feel like climbing a mountain. That's when you realize your body has been keeping score all along. I've spoken to men and women who spent decades chasing success, working long hours, sacrificing sleep and sanity, all in the name of providing for their families. But at the end, they're left trying to spend all that hard-earned money buying back what they gave away for free: their health. I've seen it up close: men who once stood tall, now too tired to enjoy the homes they built. Parents too sick to play with the children they worked so hard to provide for. What good is climbing the mountain if you're too weak to enjoy the view? Your body isn't a machine that runs endlessly without care. It needs sleep. It needs movement. It needs kindness. Some people wear burnout like a badge of honor, as if being exhausted somehow proves their worth. But here's the truth. I've never met anyone who said, I wish I had worked more and slept less. No. What they say is, I wish I had taken better care of myself. I wish I had more time. And it's not just your physical body that needs care. Your mind, your spirit, your heart, they need rest too. Constant pressure, chronic stress, anxiety that simmers in the background. These wear you down as much as poor diet and lack of exercise. You must protect your peace. You must learn to say no to things that steal your joy and yes to things that restore your soul. Because at the end of the day, all the success in the world means nothing if you're too tired, too sick, or too stressed to enjoy it. Too often people say, I don't have time to take care of myself. But here's the hard truth. If you don't make time for your health today, you'll be forced to make time for your illness tomorrow. It's a choice. You can either invest in your well-being now or pay the price later for medication, for hospital visits, for missed moments you can never reclaim. This isn't about chasing immortality. It's about ensuring that while you are alive, you feel strong, energized, and fully present. I've seen far too many people wait until their bodies begin to break down before they start appreciating them. They wait for the doctor's warning. They wait until they can't keep up with their grandkids. They wait until they're lying in a hospital bed, looking back with aching regret, thinking, if only I had done things differently. But the good news? You don't have to wait for a wake-up call. You can start today, right now. Take care of your body, nourish it with real food. Move it with purpose, and give it the rest it deserves. Take care of your mind, fill it with peace, not just pressure. Read things that grow you, not just distract you. And take care of your heart. Don't carry bitterness, anger, or unresolved pain longer than you have to. Let it go. Heal. Because at the end of the day, all the wealth awards and worldly success mean nothing if you don't have the health to enjoy them. And here's something else I've learned after years of living. When all is said and done, the people in your life, they are what matter the most. We spend so much time chasing titles, hunting success, checking off goals, as if happiness lies somewhere just over the next hill. But it's not the accolades or promotions that people remember. It's not what your business card said or how many zeros were in your account. What they remember is the love you gave, the people you showed up for, the quiet moments of laughter, the comfort you offered, the family you raised, the friends you held close. That's your legacy. Yet too often, we take these relationships for granted. We assume the people who love us will always be there, that we'll always have more time, that we can call them tomorrow, hug them next weekend, say I love you later. But life is short. Tomorrow isn't promised, and sometimes later never comes. We delay saying sorry. We postpone saying thank you. We miss the chance to say, you matter to me, or I'm proud of you. We think we'll always have time to fix it, until we don't. Especially when we're chasing careers and building dreams, it's easy to overlook the people right beside us, the ones cheering us on, the ones waiting for us to slow down and just be with them. But let me tell you, when it all fades away, when the applause dies down and the deadlines are done, it's not your resume that will hold your hand. It's the people who loved you, who stood by you, who waited patiently for your attention. It's the people who are in your corner, the ones who catch you when you fall, who cheer for you when you rise, and who walk beside you when the path gets rough, that make this life truly meaningful. I've met countless individuals who reached every milestone. They thought they wanted success, wealth, recognition, only to feel a quiet emptiness echoing in their hearts. Why? Because somewhere along the way, they sacrificed what mattered most, their relationships. They spent years building businesses, scaling corporate ladders, chasing goals that always seemed just one step further. And in doing so, they lost touch with the people who loved them most. They missed birthdays, dinners, school plays, quiet evenings, and simple conversations. And when they finally paused to breathe, they looked around and realized they were standing at the top alone. I've listened to their regrets, their wish to have spent more time with their children, to have held their spouse's hand a little longer each night, to have laughed more with friends over coffee, or shared more unfiltered, undistracted moments. The saddest part, many of them realized this truth when it was already too late. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to wait until you're old to learn this lesson. You can start right now, this very moment, by choosing to invest in the people you love. Call your parents, hug your kids, plan that coffee date with your friend. Tell your partner how much they mean to you, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because life is not measured by what you accumulate, but by what you give your time, your presence, your love. We get so easily swept up in the chaos of life, the deadlines, the checklists, the drive to achieve. But if you truly want to live a life that matters, you must learn to prioritize people over projects. Things will fade. Accomplishments will collect dust, but people are the ones who will carry your memory in their hearts. They will be the ones who show up when everything else falls apart. They'll be the ones who sit with you in silence when words aren't enough, who remind you who you are when you've forgotten, who lift you when you feel like giving up. Think about it. When you look back over the landscape of your life, what will shine the brightest? Will it be that big promotion, the expensive vacation, the perfectly renovated kitchen? Or will it be the spontaneous road trip with friends, the quiet dinner with your spouse, the bedtime stories with your kids? Will it be the sound of shared laughter or the warmth of a late-night conversation? Relationships require effort. They demand time, patience, and sometimes forgiveness. But they are worth every ounce of energy you pour into them. Because, in the end, they are the only riches that grow more valuable with time. I've spoken with people in their final chapters who carry deep sorrow not for what they didn't earn, but for the people they didn't hold closer, the friendships they didn't nurture, the apologies they never gave, the love they never fully expressed. And they all say the same thing: don't make the same mistake. So don't wait. Don't assume you'll always have time. Show up for the people who matter now before they're gone, before the chance slips away. Because at the end of the day, success without love is an empty victory, and a life without people to share it with will always feel incomplete, no matter how full it looks from the outside. Take the time. Make the effort. Build those relationships now. Choose connection over convenience. Choose presence over productivity. Choose love over distraction. Here's what I've come to understand after years of listening, living, and learning from others, especially those who've walked difficult roads and come out stronger. The people who go the furthest in life aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. When they do, they don't let failure define them. They don't let setbacks label them. They stumble, they fall, but they always get back up. I've spoken with so many people who, looking back at their lives, say the same thing: if I hadn't failed, I never would have learned that lesson. Or that mistake, that misstep. It led me somewhere better than I could have planned. It's humbling, yes, but it's also incredibly powerful. Because failure doesn't just show you where your weaknesses lie, it reveals where your real strength begins. It teaches you things success never could. It shapes your character. It sharpens your instincts. And most of all, it builds resilience, your ability to keep going when life gets hard, to stand back up when everything inside you says stay down. Here's something I've learned firsthand. You have to embrace failure. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. And you certainly can't let the fear of failing keep you from taking the risks that lead to real growth. Because, let's be honest, growth never happens in comfort. It happens in discomfort, in uncertainty, in the moments when you step out, take a chance, and fall. The question isn't if you'll fall, it's when. And more importantly, what will you do when it happens? It's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. Every time you miss the mark, life is giving you a chance to reevaluate, to adapt, and to try again with more wisdom than before. Failure helps you discover what works and what doesn't, what matters and what never really did. Let me tell you something I've heard from almost every wise, seasoned soul I've ever met. The key to success isn't perfection. It's persistence. It's about showing up day after day, doing the work, and refusing to quit, especially when things get hard. Especially when nobody's clapping. Especially when it would be easier to give up. If you don't quit, you will get there. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next month, but you will. And that's what separates those who succeed from those who stop short: the willingness to keep going even after you've fallen. Don't listen to the voices that say, failing is shameful. The only real shame is not trying at all. The shame is letting fear stop you from even starting. The shame is walking away from your dream just because you hit a rough patch. There's a saying, I love. The only real failure is the one you don't learn from. That's the truth. As long as you're learning, you're winning. Even when it feels like you're stuck. Even when progress seems invisible. You're still growing. You're still building the inner strength that will carry you through the next challenge. Success, as I've learned from those who've truly lived it, isn't about never falling. It's about seeing failure as a stepping stone. It's about adjusting, refining, and returning stronger, wiser, more determined than ever before. You are not defined by your setbacks. You're defined by how you rise from them. So the next time you fall, don't collapse in defeat. Embrace it. Learn from it. Rise. Keep moving forward. Because success doesn't belong to the perfect, it belongs to the persistent. And if you keep getting up, no matter how many times you fall, you will succeed. In the last part, we uncovered the power of persistence and how failure doesn't define you, your response does. Now, let's talk about something else that quietly holds many people back. The fear of what others think. Here's the hard truth. You can't control what other people think of you, no matter how hard you try. You can twist yourself into knots, trying to please them. You can exhaust your energy, molding your image to win their approval. But at the end of the day, their opinion is just that, theirs. And here's the kicker. It doesn't matter. Not really. The sooner you grasp that, the sooner you'll begin to live with real freedom. I remember a time, especially when I was younger, when I would obsess over how people saw me. I changed how I dressed, how I spoke, how I laughed, even how I walked, just to fit in, just to be liked. I thought, if I could win their approval, then maybe I'd finally feel good enough. I believed that if others saw me as valuable, I would finally start to feel valuable myself. But you know what happened. The more I tried to meet everyone else's expectations, the more I lost myself. The more I tried to be what everyone else wanted, the further I drifted from who I really was. And let me tell you, living for approval, constantly measuring yourself against someone else's standards, is a fast track to anxiety, burnout, and losing your peace of mind. We live in a world that bombards us with lies. Social media floods our screens with curated images of perfect lives, perfect bodies, perfect relationships. You scroll through those feeds, and suddenly you feel like you're behind, like you're not enough. You're told, be like this person, look like that person, talk like them, live like them. But here's the truth. None of that is real. It's a carefully crafted highlight reel, a facade, a fantasy. Nobody's life is perfect. Not the influencer, not the entrepreneur, not the fitness model. And the more you try to become someone you're not, the more empty and disconnected you'll feel inside. At some point, you have to draw a line in the sand and say, enough. Enough worrying. Enough performing. Enough changing yourself just to meet someone else's expectations. Because the truth is, the people who truly matter, the ones who belong in your life, will love you for who you are, not who you pretend to be. The right people will accept your quirks, your flaws, your passions, and even your past. They won't demand you to shrink, change, or edit yourself to be more acceptable. They'll celebrate you as you are. Because that's what real connection looks like. I spent way too many years trying to be good enough for people who didn't even care about me, people who didn't know my heart, people who weren't invested in my growth, and chasing their approval was a dead end, always moving the goalpost, never enough. If you're always trying to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one, including yourself. Here's a truth I had to learn the hard way. Your worth is not determined by what others think of you. It's not rooted in their opinions, likes, or validation. Your value is intrinsic. It's in who you are, in your heart, your kindness, your purpose, not in how others choose to perceive you. And when you finally realize that it's like a weight gets lifted off your shoulders, you stop living for applause. You stop measuring your days in likes and compliments. You start living for you, for joy, for peace, for purpose. You begin to redirect your time and energy toward what actually matters. The hobbies that feed your soul, the people who light you up, the quiet moments that bring you peace. Because when you stop caring what people think, you start becoming who you were always meant to be. You're no longer bound by fear. You're no longer shrinking yourself to fit inside someone else's box. You're free. And that freedom, it's powerful. It's liberating. It's the path to an authentic life. Previously, we talked about letting go of the fear of other people's opinions and embracing who you truly are. Now let's take that one step further, because when you live with authenticity, something incredible happens. The more you embrace your true self, the raw, unfiltered, imperfect, real version of you, the more people will be drawn to you. And not because you're putting on a show or pretending to be someone else, but because realness is magnetic. Authenticity speaks louder than perfection ever could. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not about becoming cold, dismissive, or living without any regard for others. It's not about being reckless with your words or actions. It's about releasing that exhausting need for constant validation. It's about standing in your truth and saying, I don't need anyone's permission to be who I already am. The older I get, the more I realize something powerful. Most people aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you imagine. You know why? Because they're busy thinking about themselves. They're wrapped up in their own worries, fears, and insecurities. Everyone is fighting their own battle, so why give so much power to someone else's opinion? The truth is, when you live for the approval of others, you hand them control over your peace. And the more you chase their validation, the further you drift from your own joy. But when you live for yourself, when you're grounded in your values, your faith, your purpose, that's when you discover what true freedom feels like. Now, I won't lie to you. It's not easy to break free from the habit of people-pleasing. It's deeply rooted. We've been taught since we were young to seek approval, to color inside the lines, to perform, to make others proud. But it takes real courage to unlearn that. It takes strength to stand in the middle of your life and say, this is me, take it or leave it. But when you finally do, you'll find something beautiful. You'll find a calm inside you, a peace you didn't know was missing. You'll stop walking on eggshells and start walking in purpose. You'll stop bending just to be accepted and start standing tall in your own identity. And yes, some people won't understand you. Some may not like you, but guess what? That's okay. They're not your people. The ones who truly matter, the ones who are meant to walk this journey with you, they'll love you exactly as you are. They'll see your flaws, your quirks, your messiness, and choose you anyway. So stop waiting for everyone to agree with your path. Stop holding back your light because someone else can't handle its brightness. Your life is yours to live, no one else's. Let go of the fear. Let go of the need to be liked by everyone. Because here's the truth. You're not here to impress the world. You're here to be fully, beautifully, unapologetically you. And now, there's something I need to tell you. Something that may be hard to hear, but is profoundly true. Life is fragile. 1 minute, everything seems perfectly fine. You're going through the motions, crossing off your to-do list, thinking you've got all the time in the world. And then, in an instant, everything can change. It could be an illness, an accident, a sudden loss, or even just that quiet, haunting realization that time is slipping through your fingers faster than you ever imagined. We grow up believing we have all the time in the world. We think there will always be another day to fix what's broken, to chase the dream, to say what's been left unsaid. But as we get older, we start to see the truth, that time is the most precious, non-renewable gift we'll ever be given. And the truth is, We don't know how much of it we have left. That's why every single day matters more than we think. Not just the big moments, the weddings, the milestones, the achievements, but the small ones too. The unplanned conversations, the quiet mornings with family, the afternoons spent with a book, the shared laughter at the dinner table. Too often we're racing through life trying to be more, do more, accomplish more. But when you really stop and think, what matters most isn't how much you get done. It's how much you truly live. In today's world, success is often measured by hustle, by status, by how high you climb. But I've learned something different. The true measure of a life well lived isn't in your bank account or your resume. It's in your relationships, your presence, and the impact you leave on people's hearts. Because when the day comes that you're lying in bed looking back at it all, you won't be counting the cars you drove or the awards on your shelf. You'll be remembering moments, the way someone's hand felt in yours, the sound of your child's laughter, the feeling of being truly deeply loved. We just talked about how fragile life truly is, and how it's not the things you achieve that define your life, but the moments you live and the people you love. Now, let's bring it all together with one of the most powerful truths of all time: is your most precious gift. When your story is coming to an end, what will really matter won't be the trophies, the promotions, or the number of goals you checked off a list. What will stay with you and with others will be the love you gave the people you lifted up and the memories you shared. I've had quiet, emotional conversations with people nearing the end of their lives. And do you know what they talk about? Not the business deals they missed or the fortunes they didn't build. What they regret most are the moments they let slip away, the chances they didn't take, the hugs they never gave, the words "I love you" they never said, the family gatherings they missed, the dreams they never chased because they were afraid of failing. So how do we avoid living a life full of those regrets? We start by waking up to the reality that every moment is precious. We stop waiting for the right time because chances are the perfect moment will never come. We stop putting off the things that truly matter, making amends, taking risks, choosing joy, showing love until someday. The only time you truly have is right now. So live with intention. Decide what you want your life to stand for and start moving in that direction today. Too many people live on autopilot, floating through life, waiting for a sign or the right season to begin. But the truth is, time doesn't wait for anyone. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you might miss the only one that matters. You don't need a grand gesture. You don't need permission. If there's a relationship that needs healing, mend it. If there's a dream in your heart, chase it. If there's something you've been longing to do, start. Don't wait until you feel more confident. Don't wait for someone else to change first. Don't wait until life slows down, because it won't. As you get older, you begin to understand how quickly time moves. You start to see just how fleeting each day really is. And while you can always make more money, find another job, buy nicer things, you cannot buy more time. That's what makes time sacred. Once it's gone forever. And none of us knows exactly how much we have left, not for ourselves and not for the ones we love. So make today count. Start being the person you want to be, not tomorrow, but right now. Speak from your heart. Be present. Love deeply. Forgive quickly. Laugh loudly. Live boldly. There's something life-changing about living with the awareness that our time is limited. It sharpens your focus. It clarifies what truly matters. It makes the little things, the morning coffee, the smile from a loved one, the quiet moments of gratitude, feel like treasures. Don't let the noise of life drown out the beauty that's right in front of you. Take a moment. Look around. Appreciate the people in your life. See the opportunities that are already within reach. Don't get so busy building a life that you forget to actually live it. Live today like it's the most important day of your life, because, in many ways, it is. And if there's one message I hope you carry with you, it's this. Time is the most precious thing you have. Use it wisely, make it meaningful. And above all, never forget just how sacred today truly is.